Welcome to the Epoxy Business Podcast. Proud member of the Woodpreneur Network, home of the #1 podcast in the wood industry. I'm Steve from Acres of Timber and Woodpreneur Life, and along with my co-host Jake from Old Log and Sawmill, we'll be diving into the world of resin and epoxy every week. If you're a maker or wood entrepreneur interested in learning the ins and outs of the epoxy business, this is the place for you. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoy this episode. The Epoxy Business Podcast is proudly sponsored by Old Log and Epoxy, the premier epoxy and resin system for professional makers and wood business owners. Making exceptional products starts with the right tools and materials. Visit oldlogandepoxy.com today and find out how to take your projects to the next level. Once again, that's oldlogandepoxy.com. Hey, welcome to a brand new episode of the Epoxy Business Podcast. I'm your host, Steve from Acres of Timber.
Yeah, I'm co-host Jake with Old Log and Sawmill.
And today's guest is Alex from Backyard Resin. How you doing, Alex?
Doing good. How's it going, guys?
Good. Excited to have you on, man.
Absolutely. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So first question is, tell us about your background. Like, if you're on video right now, you would never guess that you are a prolific woodworker. You look like a gamer / star fan, Star Wars aficionado. Tell us about your background.
So basically, this whole thing started as pretty much everybody starts their hobby, right? I was working in sales and, had a great career and decided that I wanted to make some things with my hands and decided to, I saw the epoxy tables and I thought that was really interesting. So I decided to make one and then I loved it. So I made one for my brother, for my mom, for my grandma. And then eventually people were like, hey, you're pretty good at this. You should probably, start selling. And one of my friends, also told me, hey, you should also make an Instagram account. I'm sure people would love to see the process and everything. I was like, I wasn't very social media, but decided to go for it. And eventually I saw that people started to pick up and start to follow. And, I just found that it was really nice to be able to, show the process, show people how I did my stuff. And eventually it just kind of took a life of its own. And when COVID hit, I saw an opportunity to say, hey, you know what? It's now or never. I really like this. So let's go full on. So I quit my career and literally working from my shed at the back of my house. So a tiny shed, just filming stuff, doing it. And then, I was like, if this doesn't pan out, I could always be a salesman somewhere else. But I'm like, I need to try this out. And turns out it went super well. And now, I got a bigger shop. Now we have a 8,000 square foot shop, 4 employees, and just scaled it up really, really fast.
Sounds like the start of all of us right there. That's exactly
sounds like epoxydreams.com. Right?
Yeah.
Well, I think I really enjoy making videos is something I'm a little bit of a, I learn very quickly and I like to optimize things. So it's just like understanding the social media algorithms, how to, make my videos better, the lighting, like all of these parts of that go through the actual making of videos are an art of itself. You can make beautiful videos, but if you don't know how to edit or if it's not well shot or well lit, that just makes all the world of difference. So just by trying to optimize everything step by step and just trying to get better, that's where we're at now. So pretty exciting.
You make your own videos?
I film and I shoot every single video you see on my page.
Yeah.
I shot every single one of them and edited every single one of them as well.
Now, do you plan on keep doing that as you grow in, or are you going to outsource that part of it? Because this is where I'm at right now. It's very hard.
Yeah, it's super hard. Because the thing is, it's, growing the business and scaling, I've learned very quickly that, you have to learn to delegate and to trust the people that you put into those positions. So I've done, I've kind of delegated a lot of the accounting and all the bookkeeping, which is the first thing, you want to get out of your hair. I'm sure you understand that. But you know, I enjoy the filming and the editing so much that I think that's probably the last part I would kind of let go or delegate. It's just yeah.
That makes sense. It seems like your creativity really comes out in your work, right? Like, is that the case?
Well, it's just I don't know if I would ever want to be the kind of guy to just kind of take a whole step back from the business and kind of make it so that it runs itself. I do want to make it self-sufficient to a certain point where I'm able to take, you know, good amount of vacation or just being able to have some downtime with my family. You know, I got this shop at the same time that my wife was giving birth. So just like scaling a business wasn't enough, you know. Now she's almost my little girl is almost 1 year old, so she's 10 months. So it's been pretty crazy trying to kind of juggle the family life and also you know, the professional life at the same time. But thankfully, I have such a talented and passionate team, and you know, it's just it's getting better and better. So couldn't be happier for sure.
Now, you got quite of a following now. I've been following you ever since you were like in the low hundreds, and now like skyrocketed to over 500,000. Did I see that right?
Yeah.
What do you think was the one project that started it all that like really?
It's not one project at all. It's definitely not one project. What happened is that, you know, TikTok took a lot of basically magnitude. And at the same time, I was in the perfect position to be able to shoot many videos and really edit them properly. And Instagram Reels started at the same time. And the thing is, the algorithm, when that came out, just pushed it like to the max. And the thing is, I think a lot of makers and a lot of content creators that were used to just posting pictures on Instagram didn't kind of did that switch right away. Like what I did, like I haven't posted a picture on Instagram in probably a year. So ever since Reels started, my page on Instagram is just fully video, because I understood that, you know, those social media are really battling for your attention. And since the algorithm on TikTok is so powerful and so, you know, they make like they basically make these recommendations tailor-made to who you are, and they build a profile for you. So I really knew that if I wanted to, you know, profit from that, I really needed to do a huge change on how I was presenting my content. And so I did this whole switch to the shorter videos and just really concentrating on the Reels. And basically that skyrocketed us. We did I think we gained like 200K almost in 1 month, which was insane. Like we were gaining like 3,000 to 5,000 in a day most times. And then, you know, you can see when there's algorithm changes and you're always trying to go with the optimization of what's going on. But like we hit like kind of a plateau when we hit like 500K, which, you know, I'm completely fine with, because I never thought I was going to get this quick to that amount of followers this quick. And but I think the Instagram is really about consistency. So the algorithm on Instagram is definitely like a wave. So once you start riding that wave, you just gotta, you know, ride it till you fall off. That's till you fall off.
That's exactly it.
That's the thing. And when you fall off, that means that the algorithm probably changed, or there's something that changed. So then I do a lot of test posts to see like trending sounds are really important. There's so many things that go into it, but it's really trying to figure out where it's at. And right now we're on an upward trend again on Instagram, which is great. So, you know, you never know, maybe we'll fall off that wave again, but we're not growing as fast as we were, but we're actually growing that fast on TikTok right now. So
yeah, TikTok 1.5 million. That's bananas. Yeah. That's so crazy. Wait, let me ask you this. In terms of, you know, we'll get back to you know, your content creation stuff, but like, why epoxy? Like, what is it about epoxy that really kind of made you go all in? And kudos to you for like quitting your job during the middle of a pandemic. And Canada was no joke with the lockdown. So you literally, you bet on yourself big time.
Oh
right?
Yeah, big time. Like this. Basically what I did, I had a condo I was renting. I literally sold it to finance myself. Cause you know, what bank is going to say like, oh, I'm going to finance this guy just doing videos on TikTok and Instagram, right? So I financed myself. We never got a bank loan for anything. Turned out well, but it was really betting on myself and saying, you know what, like, even if I fall flat on my face and it doesn't work, I'm fine with it, because I'll know that I'll have tried it and I will have no regret, and I just need to go for it. And I've always been the go-getter, and I am good at woodworking, but sales is definitely something that I would say is my talent. So it's always trusting my instincts, saying like, I have a good product, I know I can get it out there, and just being able to do the theme tables is really cool. Like I'm not you see a lot of pages that just stick to one thing, and they'll just kind of stay in that box forever, right? You'll see some are doing like lich burning or whatever. Like they're just burning their boards, and that's all they do. So you look at their page, it's just that, right? And right now I'm doing Star Wars. Tomorrow, I'm doing golf, and then we're doing basketball, and then I want to do, like, we did a partnership with the NHL. So they announced the playoff with one of our engravings last year. We did also a promotion for Disney. So they hired us to do a video and a table for the Book of Boba Fett show on Disney Plus. So because we're so big on TikTok, we actually have more followers than Disney Plus. So they pay us basically to put a video to promote the show. And then recently we just finished a project for Michael Bay. So his latest movie was Ambulance. So Universal Studios hired us to do an ambulance table. And then that table is going to be shipped out directly to Michael Bay, which is pretty cool.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Had some pretty amazing opportunities.
That's because awesome. Of TikTok and putting your content out there.
And that's the thing. And we have I always want, like, I kept my page very clean also. I'm not the kind of guy, you see a lot of pages that, I feel like some people pour in too much of their personality. It's great to have views on politics and religion and a bunch of different subjects,
but really.
I feel like, it's okay to have these convictions, but I don't think it's the best medium to actually share that. It's more like things that you talk with friends or behind closed doors and stuff like that, not like kind of being so opinionated on Instagram or TikTok, or whenever I have a bad experience with a company, I never use the whole like social media to say, hey, we're gonna trash your name or anything like that. We just move on, because certain companies in the past week or so. And so I think I heard a little bit about that. But yeah, for me, it's all about spreading positivity and good vibes. And I want people, when they go on my page, to just like want to watch all the videos and feel good about it. And I think that's what made the NHL and big companies like Disney want to do business with us, because there's nothing controversial about our content.
I'm the same way. I've always preached to people that, for people that do politics, then they're just only targeting those people in the same politic views. Same with religion. I don't cuss. I don't talk about politics. I don't talk about, because that way you get an open field. It's you touch everybody and not just a certain type.
Well, I was going to say, at that point, what you do is you attract your right customer that wants you and your work without anything else, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep. Now I want to get back to a question real quick, because I'm a big fan of the airbrushing. Right?
Oh, yeah.
The airbrush. My brother's a huge airbrush artist in California, and I live in. We were going to collab at some point to do something like that. So, and I haven't experienced any of that yet. Is there certain paints or anything that you use when you do that that's not going to melt?
I don't do it. I don't even know how to airbrush. So we have an airbrush artist on staff that is dedicated to doing that. Yeah. So I have, honestly, so the thing about Joey's his company's JW Customs. I met him randomly at a party, and then we started talking, and then he was showing me his content, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. And we were just talking about Instagram, TikTok, and all this stuff. And I was like, man, that could be kind of cool to put painting inside a table. Time passed, and then eventually I was like, I hit him up again. And then what I did is I have my Star Wars helmet, and actually this one here. So I sent him a white helmet. This one's the prototype. And I sent him the helmet. I'm like, I want to test this guy out. So I told him, I'm sending you a helmet. Do whatever the hell you want with it. So he basically airbrushed a Mandalorian there. The logo's on there. And then check out, you have Darth Vader and then Yoda, like so precise.
Right.
Like, this guy is incredible. And then like, TIE fighters all around. And when I received it, I was like, okay, no, we need this guy. So Joey took the plunge with us. He was working at Costco for 22 years, had a great career, and decided I need to go and hop in that wave and join this team. And he's been
Look
with
at
us
you
for,
changing lives, Alex. That's so
7
awesome.
years, 7 months now, and it's been the greatest experience. And he's so creative, and me and him, we just bounce ideas off each other all the time. And I'm all about getting more mediums together to make things that are so unique that you can't find anywhere else. Like the Nintendo Switch we're doing right now. So I recreated a Nintendo Switch on my CNC.
I saw it. It's awesome.
We engraved it, filled it with epoxy, and then he's doing, so the screenshot in the middle is not just a black screen. Actually, he's airbrushing Mario Kart in there right now.
Yeah.
Just doing stuff like that is just so fun.
Yeah.
So cool, man. Well, you didn't answer your question before, like why epoxy? What if you could get philosophical or dreamlike, what is it about epoxy that you love?
What I love about, I've always been kind of a creative person, and being able to play with the colors, also play with I like to think that, like, let's say I give you a slab and I take the exact same slab, and you're going to make a table that's completely different than the one I'm going to make, because the layout is going to be different. The river is going to be different. It's I don't know. It's just being able to make something that's completely unique. And anybody that buys a table from us knows that they're the only one to have that specific table, I think is really cool. I don't know. It's just it's a way for me to be able to use my talents, being creative, using my hands to do like significant work, and also being able to sell my own products, which I know are quality, feels really good as well. And I don't know, I just fell in love with it and just had so much fun. And I just figured, and I saw,
you could save trash wood too. So
for sure. And the thing is, since we make cutting boards and smaller items, basically when we cut the larger slabs, we break them down in a way that we can reuse them in smaller tables or cutting boards or stuff like that. And just being able to use pretty much every part is always really nice. Yeah.
So do you outsource your lumber, or do you create your own lumber? We
don't do that yet. We have I don't know if I'm gonna get into the wood business. Maybe eventually, we'll never know. But I have a couple suppliers here and there, and we have really good relationships with them. We usually get like first pick on the wood. So I get like, PDF with a bunch of different like logs that we can. So right now we buy entire trees. So we buy all sequential slabs, which is really nice. So that way the wood grain actually matches when we're actually doing table, rather than, having two tones and stuff like that. Because walnut is a wide range, right? It can be super light, super dark. And so developing relationship with some good sawmills, and we're always looking for new species of wood, but I like to keep it simple. A lot of places, I think, woodworkers kind of try to keep too many species of wood, and then they get too specific, and then what happens that you're gonna have like slabs that are just laying around. We do maple and walnut. That's it. It. You want light or dark? That's it.
I like the simplicity there. I like that.
Yeah. It's just that way you don't have any slabs that are just laying around for a year, because that's money that's just sleeping there. You want to have it turn around and being able to use everything you've got.
That's awesome, man. So where do you think the epoxy game is going?
Well, like everything, you never know where it's going to go. Is it going to be popular for a long time? Is it not? I feel like just doing like solid colors eventually might, and like anything, it's a trend, and maybe eventually like the things that are, I would say, more like been there, done that, are going to be maybe less popular. And that's why I'm always trying to find ways to keep it fresh and to get new audiences to us. So the thing is, by doing, let's say, golf tables, the best thing about it is that the algorithm's going to push it towards the golf fans that maybe never seen resin tables. And that gets us a whole bunch of new following and a whole bunch of new people that maybe would never have seen, an epoxy table. And same thing for any gaming stuff that we do. We're going to do some anime, classic movies. There's a bunch of stuff that's in the pipeline. But really right now we're trying to showcase what we're able to do as far as the airbrush. So really doing like very like different types of projects. And that brings us in a lot of quotes from people saying, hey, if he can do that, he can also do what I'm thinking. And then we get a lot of custom table orders and stuff like that. So,
okay.
Yes.
So you commission on all your bills. Are they all commissioned already, or do you build and then sell, or do you do both?
We do both, but most of everything that we build is already sold. Yeah,
already sold. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But if you have like a new idea or something like that, then then
I'll just put it up for sale, or I'll give it away. It's just So anything that's like really out of the box, usually we'll just make one, sell it, and then that'll bring us a lot of customers because a lot of things, like people that are, let's say, about Star Trek, they'll love the Star Trek table we'll do, but then they're going to be like, oh, well, I want the Enterprise to be a little bit more like this, or the Wood to be a little bit more like that. So they love the idea, but they wanted to make it personal and kind of put their own grain of salt in there,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just about opening doors. That's all what it is, basically.
Yeah. You know what I just heard the other day? It was like yesterday, or the day before, is that when you're doing a reel, you can lower the trending sounds, right?
And put your own,
and do your own audio. But in the audio that you narrate to the voiceover, include keywords. Right. So if you're making a golf table, just start talking about golf. And if you're making starter, just because what ends up happening is that now the algorithm picks up audio and can push your own voice audio to those fans as well. I was like, what? You know what I mean? It's so crazy.
Yeah, that does make sense for sure. I'm not sure how impactful it would be, just because I think that the hashtags are still the most important thing to actually.
Oh no, it's in combination. It's in combination.
But in combination,
yeah.
I kind of like to just keep it to music and just keep it clean and simple. And
for sure,
eventually, I'm thinking of doing some DIYs, just like explaining the whole kind of the whole process while we're doing it. And that's definitely what I was gonna do. Put a trending sound, maybe lower it very, very low so you can still hear my voice over it. And I think that's where it's going. Like right now, I feel like there's a shift on TikTok where they're allowing you to make up to 10-minute videos. They're trying to, I think, kind of take the demographic away from the YouTube of longer segments and longer videos. And I think that there might be a shift towards the algorithm to go with longer videos on TikTok. But the shorter videos are still doing very, very well. So yeah, but I think that's a good idea. And it's that those kinds of things that you always have to look at and see, try it out and see if it's going to work for you or how it's going to impact.
Yeah. I mean, the idea that algorithm not just picks up obviously hashtags and the captions in your keywords, but also picks up the sound from your original audio and pushes those as keywords. I was like, whoa, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, so how can people follow you? What's your Instagram? What's your website? How can people get in touch?
So you can go on Backyard. It's Backyard Resin on everything. So you can go Backyard Resin on Instagram, TikTok. We haven't done much on YouTube. We're definitely looking to do that in the next year and really dip into the longer videos. And our website is www.backyardresin.com.
Cool. Alex, thank you so much for taking the time to share your story. And I'm excited to get your story and your inspiration, your beautiful work out to the Epoxy Business Podcast community.
Thank you so much. It was great being on.
All right.
Alex, appreciate it, man.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take care, guys.
Hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Epoxy Business Podcast, proudly sponsored by Olag and Epoxy. Make sure you subscribe and follow us so you don't miss the next episode. For more information on other offerings from the Woodpreneur Network, you can check out woodpreneurlife.com. We'll see you next week.